Hey, welcome to Integrated, a podcast for entrepreneurial couples who want to build a high-impact career and an exceptional partnership. I'm Jayson Gaddis, one of the hosts here, and I'm CEO and founder of the Relationship School. I train coaches. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm a coach. I'm an entrepreneur.
And I'm Ellen Bader, a psychotherapist, coach, and teacher. Jayson and I have been facilitating transformational work for over 60 years combined. We've been married for almost 20 years and run our own businesses while raising 2 teenagers. When we're not juggling work and parenthood, we love to get out in nature as far as we can and play.
Our job here is to bring cutting-edge science, practical tools, and a deep view of how to juggle all of these things and have an awesome family, partnership, and business.
We're glad you're here.
Let's go. All right. Welcome back to Integrated.
Yes, welcome.
This is a podcast for entrepreneurial couples. It could be both of you are entrepreneurs. It could be one of you. And you're juggling a lot. Life is very demanding, very full, coming at you really fast. You're holding so much. And our job is to try to help you have a better marriage, a better long-term relationship, and a better vibe at home. Mm-hmm.
Even with all that you're up to.
Even with all that you're up to. So that, you can make more money or have a thriving business and not completely fall apart because some of you are just working so hard.
Yeah. And you can enjoy your partnership and your kids more if you have them.
Yeah. And this is like the never-ending koan in our marriage is like, how do we just make this awesome?
Yeah.
With all that we're holding.
Yeah. How do we do it in a way that works for us, that provides us the kind of experience we want to be having, emotionally and, on that human journey level. Yeah. Like, are we enjoying what we're up to?
Totally.
Do we like how we're doing it? Yeah.
So we're going to get into today, divide and conquer, a concept that you may have heard about. It might be how you're handling your home life and work life, and you might not have put words to it. Some of you do put words to it. Our couples that we work with over the years do talk about, we just divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm. That's how we get stuff done.
We just get through it.
It's simpler. We know our roles and responsibilities. I work, you do the kids. Maybe we trade that off from time to time, or all the different kinds of things around the house, in work and in home life. We just divide it up and get it done. Yeah.
It's what our parents' generation did a lot of. Man works, woman stays home, raises kids in a traditional gender kind of dynamic. And that's still a lot of what we see. Mm-hmm. And we see and experience people being pretty frustrated, and something's not working about this divide and conquer thing.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to invite you into something that's a little more collaborative, that might feel a little difficult at first, but ultimately in the long run more empowering and more beneficial to both people and the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. It turns out that I think what we see is that more and more couples today want more equity in the relationship. Right. Women want to have work outside the home, and men want to be more involved in the home. If we just take that gendered divide and conquer piece, that alone is dads want more of a say in how things are going at home, or want more time to do stuff with kids or be part of the home. And women want more of life going on outside the home for themselves. So
and both people want to feel valued
for the different roles they have, and just for who they are, of course.
Yeah.
But definitely for the different kinds of work, different responsibilities they're taking on. Absolutely. People want to feel appreciated for all that they're doing, because you're all up to a lot. You're doing a lot.
Yeah. A sign that your divide and conquer thing is not working, and we'll get into the details here in a minute, is that you don't feel valued for what you're doing or who you are. And there's resentments occurring. I do more, there's scorekeeping, things don't feel fair. That's when it starts, it's like, hey, something is not right here. Something's not working.
Yeah, and you feel kind of disconnected or even lonely in your partnership.
Right.
That's a sign too.
So let's talk about, Ellen, the benefits of divide and conquer and some of the drawbacks of divide and conquer.
Great.
Just to kind of work into this.
Yes.
So I think it's important to talk about the benefits maybe first, because we're all doing this in certain aspects. So no one is like, we're not saying divide and conquer is bad at all. We're saying it has a place, absolutely. And we want you to just expand here. But let's look at some of the benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. So for one, it simplifies things. It helps us kind of, in this full plate of adulthood that we're doing and partnership. It's like, dude, can you handle some of this? Can you just like fill the car up with gas while I go for a jog? Or, it's like we can accomplish more. We can get more done potentially by dividing up all these responsibilities and tasks to just keep our lives running, our health, our finances, our work, our kids. There's a lot.
And so if I know my domain, and I'll just handle that. You handle your domain, I'll handle my domain, and let's just do it really well. And I'll try to do it in a way that doesn't piss you off and make things worse here. And, couples start to drift, of course, but that's, that can work.
Yeah, maybe I get to do the things I feel best at or that I like to do the most too. So I don't have to do the things that I'm not that good at or that I don't like doing. Hopefully you will take those on. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, I kind of manage the yard.
Yeah.
And you don't love that. You're willing to help me.
Totally.
But I basically own the yard.
It's totally your playground.
And I love it. I love the yard. I love yard work. I love dealing.
Totally.
Most of the time. I don't love weeding that much, but you get the idea.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Another benefit. It's just more efficient, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about and process and get stuck in these long conversations about how it went.
Yeah.
And, we don't fight about the yard.
No.
You just like, dude, handle it.
Yeah. You don't have to ask me like, should I plant this? Should I plant this here or there? What should I get? What would you want?
Right. Now, if I spent $5,000 on our yard, you might want to you'd be like, hold on, dude, slow it down. What the hell are you doing? I wanted to get a big boulder, honey, for $5,000. So of course, there's places where we're going to talk.
Yes.
Right.
Of course.
But it seems to be more efficient, which is why couples do it. The human brain likes the path of least resistance. We like what's simple and easy. I don't want to check in all the time.
Yeah, which starts to bring us into some of the drawbacks to divide and conquer. Even though it's kind of more efficient and seems simpler, it starts to lead into some challenges where things can start to feel kind of transactional. Like you do your job, I'll do mine. And we don't really talk or converse or discuss. I don't really know what you're handling or what you're up to out in the yard. You don't know what I'm handling or up to, maybe whatever, something in the house. Yeah. And we're just kind of doing our tasks and making sure we get things done.
And what can happen here, like another example would be, let's say Ellen's handling the kids and I'm running my business and I'm just overwhelmed and just working 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week in my startup or whatever. And I start to drift from you and the kids and I feel less plugged in and you guys have your vibe.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm excluded. I'm on the outside of your vibe. And then I might start feeling left out. And then the suggestions I do bring to the parenting are kind of rebuffed and like, well, look, you don't totally understand because I'm with the kids more. And then
this is how I'm handling things. So sorry, your input's just kind of neither here nor there.
Yeah. So I start feeling kind of rejected on the outs. And then what do? Instead of talking about it, I just go to work.
Yeah.
And then the chasm gets bigger.
Yeah. We just stay in our domains even more. And maybe if we just run with that scenario where you're the primary breadwinner and I'm the primary caregiver for the kids, I maybe over time, just take less and less of an interest in your world. Like, what is happening at work? How are you doing in there with what you're handling and holding? What's it like to be you navigating all those challenges and holding that kind of responsibility? Like I might just get really self-focused about, let me plan next week with the family or like, how am I going to make all these different, I have all these pickups and drop-offs or activities going on with the kids, and how am I going to make that work? Or, I think this kid's really having a challenge with that. I'm going to go research that. Like, I can totally get absorbed into my world because it's a complex, big world. You can get totally absorbed in yours because it's a complex, big world. And we're not even utilizing each other anymore as friends or partners or staying connected around what we're each holding. And it starts to feel less and less like a shared endeavor. Like we're more and more feeling like we're kind of living our own lives parallel to each other.
Yeah, and that again, that's a really not a great normal thing you want to make normal. That starts to then become the new baseline.
Yeah,
the new homeostasis of the relationship is we don't really check in. And you're excluded from my world and I'm excluded from yours. And because we start to feel like it gets crunchy and it gets conflictual and it's hard to talk about and it turns into a fight. So it just goes better if I'm like hands off and I don't bother you with your domain. Because let's say I come home from work and I'm really stressed and bristly. That's not, you don't want to approach me. And especially if I'm like irritable and I'm stressed about money.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm
like, hey, I don't want to talk to that guy.
I got the kids. I'm like, you take care of you. I'm taking care of this. I don't have space for that.
Yeah.
You might feel like, wow, the kids and family and dinner and bath time, like that's just a lot to deal with if you're in that state.
Yeah.
Maybe for some of those people. Yeah. It just kind of keeps drifting. And what I will say is I have a lot of couples that come to coaching and therapy because neither of them like this. So this is where I think we're just in a phase in the world where both partners want more equity. That full-time working partner doesn't really enjoy feeling excluded or just, coming home and not having a way to plug in to family life and being part of it. That primary caregiver, doesn't really love how little say she has and kind of, wow, our whole life orients around your work schedule and your business. And I'm just picking up all this other stuff. And I don't love it. Like people aren't into this as much or as accepting. And obviously we've had a lot of waves of, equity over the last many decades. We're still, that's still a work in progress, but a lot of couples want more of that. So people they start to feel disconnected. They start to feel like they're arguing more with their partner. They're not enjoying, their shared time together. Like these people struggle a little bit as a family. Yeah. Like their family time is hard. Versus like it's easier when the other parent isn't around. Like I hear that a lot. Like it's just easier when I'm one-on-one with the kids or it's easier to just be working more. It's easier, like all the roles they've divided and conquered in are just now where things are easier versus, wow, our family time or together time as a couple might not even be happening anymore. We don't even try to make it happen.
Yeah, and if you're an empty nester or you don't have kids, this same divide and conquer kind of drawbacks can start to play out where it's just, I just do my thing, you do your thing, and we're like ships passing in the night. And I'm scared to kind of get closer to you because there's a lot of resentment at this point.
Oh, right.
There's a lot of fear. We haven't successfully worked through conflict. We've avoided stuff.
Yeah, we haven't gotten good at talking about things and figuring things out together. We've divided and conquered so long. We've kind of atrophied there.
Yeah, and so this is where secrets can come in. Like I have really hard things go down at work and I stop sharing with my partner because I don't feel safe. I don't want to be vulnerable there, or I don't value their opinion or perspective because they don't know anything about what I'm talking about. And so I make up a story that they can't contribute.
Or that you might stress me out. Like, why would I stress her out? Yeah. She's already got enough on her plate. I'll just keep this to myself. It's kind of a way to justify not being vulnerable, not asking for support, not dealing with whatever your partner's feelings might be about what you're struggling with, anything like that. Yeah.
So we're trying to illustrate the divide and conquer is a way, and we do it in places. And there's tremendous vulnerability in that model that we're trying to illustrate here.
Yeah. Vulnerable to just accumulating secrets, resentments. The partnership is less and less of a priority. Sharing leadership, less and less of a priority. And I think ultimately what really doesn't work about this is so often the divide and conquer model is based on these kind of, it's not based on overt agreements. Like we agreed to some extent, but we didn't keep discussing how it was working. We didn't keep checking in, be like, how do you like this? What about it's working for you? What isn't? I think this isn't going so great for us. What do you think? God, I'd love more of your involvement here. What would that be like for you? Like somewhere along the line, we stopped overtly really talking about how it's going, what we like about it, what we don't. And so therefore all these kind of other assumptions were made. And well, I just didn't think you wanted to be involved, or well, you didn't seem to want me around, or you didn't like it when I asked questions.
Yeah, we just make up stories.
We just start making shit up about, anything to kind of avoid having the harder conversation about like, wait, I don't know if this is really working right now or in this way or in this part of our life. Yeah.
So just look closely. Is divide and conquer, again, with the yard example, it really works for Ellen and I in that place. It doesn't work for me or Ellen with our kids.
Right.
That would not, where, hey, you just handle the kids, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
I would feel I value my relationship with my kids way too much to take kind of a hands-off approach, letting you handle things. Like we make so many collaborative decisions about our kids because I'm plugged into the family.
Yeah. I mean, it's like every day there's updates, and really I'm only spending a couple more hours a day.
Yeah.
At most with the kids, because that's how we like to do it. We really want to share that. But there have been phases where you're working a lot more than me.
Sure.
And I still want to be involved in what's happening financially or what's happening in your business, because that's what's happening with you and with us. That's a layer of our life. So we, there's the majority of the big areas in terms of like our health, our well-being, our social lives, our families, our kids, our day-to-day.
Finances.
It's been a shared, we've been very collaborative, and that's what we want to share with you is like, what about that has worked? And we want you to be thinking about what about divide and conquer works for us? What about it doesn't? What would I like more of, less of?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the drawbacks and the benefits of collaboration, of which we find more benefit than drawback. But
yeah. So let's talk about collaboration, transition here to collaboration around why collaborate. And again, we're integrating our lives. We're integrating leadership here. We're saying co-leadership is probably better than divide and conquer, two people leading
two independent leaders in different areas,
lives.
Different domains of the same shared life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some drawbacks to collaboration that would have people avoid this or not feel like it's attractive?
Right. Well,
as an approach.
Well, first of all, to collaborate, to share leadership here is, takes time. We have to talk. We have to talk a lot.
Yeah.
We have to
probably a lot more.
A lot more than a divide and conquer situation. And we have to, so it takes more time. Things go slower. Sometimes one of us sometimes we have to kind of discuss something for several weeks if it's a big decision, even several months. Like you've done this with your partner you're talking about a move or a job change. It's like you might spend months kind of going back and forth about that, right?
Yeah.
So big decisions, when it affects, my partner and my children, it's a big conversation. It can take a while. But even in day-to-day tasks or in figuring out just day-to-day responsibilities, we have to be in a lot of communication. And so it takes time, it's slower, and then there's potentially more conflict. We might get into more disagreements as we're finding our way towards shared resolutions that feel good to both of us.
Yeah. Collaboration, its conflict is required to collaborate well. And that means we're going to disagree. we're just going to have places where, I don't think that's the best move, honey. And here's why. And then you might be like, no, and then get defensive and be like, no, it is the best move. And now we're in an argument. And this is where, because couples don't really invest in communication skills and learning how to listen deeply and
understand each other really well before like deciding on a solution.
Yeah, because they don't do that and haven't done that, that hasn't been a practice, there's a atrophy that occurs in the couple communication. Like they just don't know how to talk about hard things. And so again, they avoid it and go back to divide and conquer.
And then just feel kind of resentful and disconnected, and like the cycle continues.
Yeah, so collaboration is like, nope, I'm willing to fight with you, argue with you, disagree with you, to come up with a solution that works for both of us. And that's hard.
Because
especially if you don't have practice.
Yeah, if you don't know how to fight well, which I think this is what brings most couples to coaching and therapy is, what does everyone say? What's the first thing everyone says when they come to coaching and therapy? We need help with communication. That's like the number one thing. It's like 99% of couples say that.
Yeah.
And it's usually around, we have arguments we can't resolve. We have disagreements we can't resolve. There's things we can't talk about because it goes nowhere or it blows up. That's a lot of couples. You're not alone if you're dealing with that. And, you know, when it comes to communication, anyway, we spend a lot of time and you've spent years really training people on really good communication skills, which involves listening and understanding someone else.
Yeah.
And being able to validate and empathize with another person's experience. A lot of skills that really help conflict feel doable. So I just want to paint that, because it's not just about fighting. It's about, oh, we disagree on something. Now I'm interested. What do you really think? What's going on in there? Why is that so important to you? Like, we don't stay curious about our partner. We double down on explaining and justifying our position, typically.
And then we try to get the other person over to see it our way, which isn't collaboration, by the way. It's a very misunderstood thing. Like, people think, oh, okay, I think what you're saying, Jayson and Ellen, is we need to do things the same. No, we're not talking about that. Imagine if Steve Kerr told Michael Jordan, like, you need to play basketball the way I play basketball. It would never work. They wouldn't be a team. Right.
Who's Steve Kerr?
He's the guy that passed the ball the most to Michael Jordan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or one of the guys.
I should know that. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, or Scottie Pippen or one of those guys, right? Yeah. I'm dating myself here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm not super hip to current NBA
it was Scottie Pippen, I think.
Okay.
But he was really...
Well, Steve Kerr was in... Anyway. Okay. I'm going to get fact-checked on this hard. People are going to be like, Jayson, shut up. Stop talking. But what I'm saying is we're a team.
Yes.
And what makes a great team is two people being uniquely themselves.
Yeah.
It's not one team member saying, you need to play ball like I play ball.
Right.
No, that doesn't work. And that's what a lot of marriages end up doing, is you need to play life like me.
And that's how we'll get along.
Yeah.
If you're like me.
Yeah.
That's the key to getting along. And that's actually not true.
So this makes things just terrible. This creates so many divorces out there, I can't even tell you.
Yes.
And it's just a really, really bad, hurtful, harmful approach to getting what you want.
Yeah.
On a team. Now, in life, if you want to just go about yourself, be single, go do whatever the hell you want. Okay, we're talking about something more complex called collaboration, being a team.
Yeah, you've chosen to be on a team.
Yeah.
You've chosen partnership. It's a choice for the vast majority of us. And therefore, we get to co-create this. It should be good for both of us, right?
Yeah. So that's a good rule of thumb when we're collaborating, by the way. Just want to flag that. It should be good for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever we decide should work for both of us. And maybe sometimes we're like, let's try this. Let's try it this way. I'll give it a shot. And then let's reevaluate. That's really great too.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. Okay.
So let's talk about, so those are some of the drawbacks of collaboration that has people just avoid and like, I don't want to do this. Again, it's just harder. It's more work. It's slower. It's takes more time. If you're not well-versed in conflict repair, it's very dicey ground. So you avoid. So, yeah.
And we think there are many more benefits to, I think there are, to collaborating.
Yes.
And that's what I would choose.
And I continue to learn this myself because I am, I always thought I was a pretty good team player and I think in certain areas I am, but I played individual sports growing up on a team where I didn't have to like deal with anybody else. And I had a lot of short-term relationships where it was kind of my way or the highway type of approach.
Yeah, I think you like leading.
Yeah. Yeah.
And less...
I don't like following.
less happy following.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's good for you to ride in the passenger seat sometimes when I drive and let me go my way and my pace. And it's like really good for you.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Just notice which one of you drives the car and who likes the control. I want to lead. I'm a better driver. Or I want to be in the position of power here.
Yeah.
So anyway, you've taught me. You're sort of my greatest teacher on collaboration and how to do that better.
Well, I will say, you definitely want to collaborate around our kids. And you've never struggled there as a team player.
Yeah.
So there's certain places where it's like we just get that this is ours, and neither of us would move forward or do things that don't, get, that aren't also working for you, our partners. Yeah. So cool. I think that's an area of our life where we've, that's been really, almost felt really natural in a way. Yeah. Because you want to be very involved. I want to be very involved there. And then it's other areas where we feel more ownership in different areas of our lives that maybe we've had to work on it more.
Yeah. Okay. So benefits. Yeah. It definitely makes you grow up.
Say more about that.
Well, there's a way in which couples can get into like the hurt kid place of like, I want to just do it my way and I'll just go over here in my corner of the house and do my thing, play with my toys, metaphorically. This thing called collaboration is just much more, requires me to like listen. I have to be patient. I got to actually be interested and curious about you. I have to get out of myself and what I want and be genuinely interested in so much about you and how you see the world and how you see this decision we have to make. And there's a growing up, there's a developing. I have to develop the capacity to listen differently. I have to develop the capacity to communicate differently. I have to think about your values and who you are and where you come from. Like I've got to do a lot to be interested and to collaborate well.
Yeah, we also need to be able to really self-reflect and know ourselves. Like what is making this issue so charged for me? Why is this important? Or why is it that I just don't even care about this thing? Take an interest in our own feelings, perceptions, views, values, and in our partners. Yeah. And when we're both doing that, we're really kind of self-defining and making room for another person at the same time. Yeah. Like, oh, you get to be different. Here's where I'm at. Where are you at? And being interested and curious about that. And of course, I'm married to you. I want what's best for you. I want what's best for our relationship. This is both of ours. So if you want those things, if you're interested in that kind of experience, that's good for, I want what's good for me. Of course, I want what's good for you and what would feel best and work best for our relationship. You need to be curious and interested in yourself and your partner as well. Yeah. It's just how it would have to be to have that outcome.
That's right. And so if you need a refresher, go back and listen to episode 2, where we talk about the most important framework for your marriage, which is this concept we called standing for 3. It's got to be good for you, me, and us, right? Yeah. That's kind of the requirement. And so, you were talking about self-reflection, self-knowledge, self-acceptance. Yeah. There's a lot of like I have to know myself and my limitations. And I loved what you said about like, why is this so important to me? Because couples can get very polarized on issues like vaccines or politics or something. It's like, whoa, why am I clamping down? Why am I doubling down on my position about this thing that is so, quote, so important to me that I'm going to like die on the cross for? It's like, am I going to lose my marriage because it's that important to me? So we have to just like loosen the grip here if we want to collaborate. And some people, that's why I say it requires development, because some people don't want to loosen their grip. And that's a person who's saying, I don't want to develop. I don't want to grow. I don't want to learn. And we're saying, okay, then you're screwed. You must grow, develop, and learn to be a team player.
Yeah. We have to be humble, right?
Yeah.
We have to be willing to realize maybe I don't know everything. Maybe my way isn't the best way all the time. Maybe there's things I don't understand that you do because you're different and you have a different life experience and you have different strengths than I do. It forces some humility. And I also think this is it's like the in-home experience of embracing diversity.
Yeah.
We have to do this in our home with the people we love. And honestly, a lot of us struggle to do this. So of course it's a struggle in the larger world. And it's a incredible place to practice in a family. Like, oh, you're put together a little differently than me. You don't always see things the way I do. Could that be interesting to me? Yeah. Could I see the value in having, in a way, the more ways we're different, potentially the more diverse this relationship is, this system is, and we can actually do all kinds of cool things because of that. If we're exactly the same, there's not, like, both of us being therapists, for example, I was like, God, I wish one of us was a doctor. Like when we had kids, or like one of us was a chef or
an accountant
or an accountant. Like sometimes we're just like, why do we have so many of the same skills when it comes to work and what we study? And it's great. We have a lot of shared language and values, but we also have a lot of shared like things we don't do as well. Like, we need all these other practitioners and things in our lives to help us with the stuff we don't know. So there's drawbacks to that,
to being the same,
that homogeneousness that we forget about. And, it starts in our home, embracing diversity.
Yeah. And think about work, right? Your team right now, whether it's, you have a team of 2 or 2,000 or 200, it's the diversity of the team and the different skills that allows a team to scale, to grow, to crush their goals. It's not everybody being like the founder. That team's not going to get anywhere.
But you do have to understand where, like, do we have a shared vision?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah, future
episodes. Because a lot of people and couples and businesses at the end, they have a shared goal where they all want to get to. They might have different ways of getting there, which is where the diversity can be really great. It can also bring up some conflict and stuff you need to hash out. But if you have this shared vision of where we want to be at the end of the day or the end of our lives, that's going to be what keeps you focused and oriented in a good direction.
Totally. So again, this is pushing you to be a better team player. Collaboration makes me a better husband, a better partner, a better teammate, a better dad. I'm a more well-rounded human because I can work with different personalities. And this is true on my team or with Ellen and my kids. Like, whoa, my daughter's acting really different than my son here. I could try to fit them all into a box, or I could work with the differences because it forces me to be more creative.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot less lonely to collaborate, if we are doing some dividing and conquering in life, but if you take an interest in what I'm holding and dealing with day to day, if you really are like, what was it like today? And what did you awesome, or what did you struggle with? Like if we can both do that for each other and take an interest in the human being doing the role.
Yeah. Right.
Not just did you get your role done, but how was it? How are you in it?
Yeah. What are you learning?
What are you learning? What are you loving about it? What are you not? All of that, those ongoing conversations, taking an interest in each other's worlds so that you can collaborate well. Like when I'm sharing with you how things are going in my world, you actually a lot of times offer great ideas or you notice that you can see things around me that I can't. And I'm like, oh yeah, that could be better. Or like, oh yeah, why am I doing it that way? That doesn't make any sense. Or, like we can offer things to each other too that are so valuable. And that's sometimes how we collaborate in these different areas,
Totally. Yeah. I will say too that another benefit to collaboration is, and I've seen this literally with CEOs I've worked with over the years, is that we're working on their relationship, whether it's individual coaching, and they're learning how to be a better partner, or it's in couples work and they're in the real time doing the same thing. They'll report that, wow, at work, people are like, what's going on over there? You seem way more willing to listen. You seem less agitated.
Yeah.
I like you as a leader more. And then that there's huge implications for your leadership at work in your business when you know how to do this thing called collaboration at home, which is one of the hardest places to collaborate is in a marriage.
Why? Because
people purchase fantasies. They think it's going to be easy. They get their ass handed to them after many years out of mortgage and kids and the stressors of life. It's hard and people are out of their scope of skill and they're like, oh my God, this is hard and I just want to blame you. I just want to change you. And
I feel entitled to how I want to do it. And why are you in the way of that?
Yeah, you're in the way. Instead of, wow, you're teaching me how to be a better person. I'm like annoyed and resentful.
Yeah.
So I just see that kind of thing very often. And I know you do too.
Yeah, it translates into leadership at work when you can be better co-leaders and collaborators with your partner at home. We also hear about people's kids who are older will tell their parents, like, what are you guys doing? Like this, you guys seem better. Like things feel better. I noticed their kids give them feedback.
And they'll say that. My kids are like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. And they like it.
They like it a lot because there's no more lectures. The parents are actually loofooing and listening to their kids until they feel understood. They're validating feelings. They're not making their kids' emotions run the home.
Taking more of an interest in their kids, getting better at resolving conflicts in their parent-child relationship and in the partnership. Like when the partnership's functioning more collaboratively, when leadership is shared, when, sort of the king and queen are in charge and ruling with generosity and interest and curiosity, like things go better.
Yeah.
And the kids notice or parents will notice things change with their kids. So we're talking about, it's like, oh, they're not doing this anymore. Like things are smoother at work and at home.
Yeah.
So huge benefits there.
Yeah. And I think another huge one is that I'll just speak for myself in what happens here with Ellen, is I feel just better in my body, in my psychology, in my mental health when we're connected, when we're collaborative, and it's going well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like plugged in to a well of resource and just a huge, a place I can just fall apart inside of, which is my relationship and you holding me literally and figuratively. And you can kind of push me to go jump back out into my, what a lot of men call the battle of my business, the battlefield. So I can get deeply resourced in a collaborative partnership. In a divide and conquer one, it's more like, gosh, I don't feel known over here.
Yeah, you might not.
I feel kind of alone.
You might also feel like I don't even really like you. That comes up. That's actually a lot of that. If that's coming up for you in your partnership, that's a bad sign. That's a concern. Yeah. You want to address that because it's hard to feel okay and actually to feel really good in your life when you're not even sure if your partner likes you and likes who you are, or likes how you do things, and collaboration, like you said, the benefits of that, when you feel like you can come to me with things, like I understand you, like I'm interested, like all that. It's just like, there's so much freedom that comes from this sense of we're sharing ourselves and our life.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
It just feeds so much.
So much. So anything else, Ellen, that you would say on collaboration before we start to wind down here? I do have a kind of a rule of thumb here that you sort of remind us of often.
Okay, what is it?
Which is whatever you choose, whether it's divide and conquer or collaboration, blah, 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 it has to feel good to both of you.
Yeah.
That's a good rule of thumb. Like, does this feel good to both of us?
Yeah.
This decision, this way of being, this approach to our life, our family, the home, the businesses.
Our partnership.
Does it feel good to both of us?
Yeah. Do we like it? Are we a yes to it?
Yeah.
And the benefits of it and the drawbacks of it. Because, there's benefits and drawbacks to all these different ways. And sometimes people aren't seeing either the drawbacks on one side or the benefit, collaboration. It's harder. It takes more time, but there's a lot of benefits.
Tons.
Divide and conquer. It's simpler. It's less conflict. There's a lot of drawbacks, so really to get more informed and really think deeply about this so that you can choose intentionally and consciously.
Yeah. One of the, just a reminder here, almost a disclaimer for the road ahead for you, as you think about this, is one of the things you're going to have that will be required of you if you choose the collaborative path is that you're going to have to get better at communication and repair.
Definitely. Because
there will be conflict. Sorry, there's no way to bypass or skip that or jump around or, there's no bypassing here. You're just going to have to get better at hard conversations, which again, helps you as a leader at work. You got to see how this is helping every part of your life.
Yeah.
And yes, it will be bumpy at times, but as you get practice, it gets less bumpy and you know how to navigate because you have tools, you have a way forward. But we're inviting you into a collaborative approach to your partnership because we feel like the benefits outweigh the drawbacks.
Yeah. And, this podcast is called Integrated for a reason. Like we really find great value in integration as individuals, integrating all the different aspects of who we are and feeling like our life together has a sense of integration to it.
Yeah.
Like that we feel more whole and more capable and have more energy, have more creativity when we feel more integrated. And that is because and collaboration is a really big part of that feeling of integration. It's not that we're the same and we're merged and it's all one. It's a sense that, wow, we're different and unique and we're together. And we're connected.
Yeah.
So we can unpack integration more as we go, but I had to say that.
Which we will. Yeah, awesome. And we will be talking just a little bit more, maybe next episode we'll see, about gender roles.
Yeah.
That's a big one that couples can kind of get lost in. And biological inheritance. So I know you've got a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
And and we'll obviously be teaching you how to do communication better along the road. Yeah. We welcome your suggestions. Just leave a comment here on Spotify below this video. You can just type it right on your phone. And we're working on getting on Apple Podcasts. It should be out by now. By
yes.
the time you listen to this. Thanks for listening. And if you have ideas, again, we'd love to speak to them.
Yeah, thanks for being here.